Matt here from Crooks the Cabin Makers, and I'm back in the workshop this week building shed doors. So first thing I'm starting out with is just doing the framework for them. And I like to cut my timber both ends, like top and tail it, so I get a nice straight mark. Not a straight mark, a straight cut going all the way through. So as you can see from the video, I'm just setting up to cut the housing joint for the frame to stop the jambs from twisting. The old Makita is still running good as gold, which is, you know, sweet as you like. Beautiful cuts on that thing. Just got to test fit a piece and see how good it is. It's a little bit out, but I'm not too worried about it. They're shed doors after all. Making my calculations, make sure I've got everything right, and then just cut the top and the bottom off the piece of timber I need for my jambs. This way I get a nice straight 90-degree cut both ends. Makes me happy, bunny. So getting on with the sanding. I love a good bit of sanding. Clean up the timber, get everything prepped and ready to go. Take all the sharp bits off, just makes it easier to work with as well. So now I'm drilling out for the screw size. I'm using a 4mm drill bit, but that's only a pilot hole that I want to get through there. I'm using 6 by 100mm screws and polyurethane glue. So that 4mm drill bit is quite a nice size to pilot those. The old record clamp is a good one. If you're looking at buying sash clamps, take a note of the fine thread on that. That's about 50 years old, that clamp, still going strong. I just need to pack the clamp out on this side, just so the jamb bites into that housing joint just where I want it. Oh, I'm really sorry about the flashing lights as well. I feel really guilty about it actually, so maybe something wrong with my camera and my lighting setup. I'll sort it out for next time. But right now I just want to measure this and get everything parallel and square on the frames. So it's not worth using a large square because the jambs may have even something like a millimetre of bend in them. Will still throw the square out. So if you measure across the corners, that's good enough. And then everything else can be done when you fit it. So just make it square. It was in fact within a millimetre, not even a millimetre. It's very easy to square things up with this method. So the routing took ages. So I've really gone through it. You know, I've only shown a little bit of this, of the basics of what I'm doing. So right here I'm cutting the bead. And it takes a lot of, you've got to have a steady hand. Either that or put it into the router table and do it on the router table. So right now I want to cut the half lap that's going across. And I've got to do this on 15 boards. I just need to test it, test I've got it right, and there you go, it's beautiful. And test the routers still set properly as well. Got a lot of cuts to do, so. And there you go, beautiful bead and butt joint. And that's a stack of boards. All those boards have been sanded and treated with a timber preserver. Top and tail them again, get nice square edges on those, and then double check the measurement. It seems to me that I must double and triple check every single measurement. I'm almost paranoid about it. I'm just laying the boards out and checking the fit, checking the measurements. Now what I'm doing with this on the back here is I've got to put these across and get them in a square position. So the top one I'll bring 6 inches down, and the bottom one 9 inches up. 6 and 9, so that's the traditional sort of sizes for hinges. And just put one screw in and square it off. Doesn't need to be square across everything just yet. And you just lock it in position with a second screw. I'm using 4x35mm screws, so 35mm gives me 5mm spare, so I can tighten these down without going through the other side. And the 4.5, sorry, 4.5 is a little bit wider, just cinches down just that little bit better. As these doors are going to take a lot of weather and a lot of expansion and contraction over the years, so I want the head of the screw to provide a lot of support. Just checking it's square. Checking my marking my start of a board here. Just cinching that down nicely. And getting the rest of the board drilled out and ready. So when I'm putting these doors and I'm working the spacings out, I'll go from the outside edge to the middle, and I go from both outside edges. So that way the gap in the middle, if it's slightly different, is still only one gap in the middle, if that makes sense, rather than one gap all to one edge that's wrong. Anyway, so yeah, just got to finish drilling these home, screwing these home. It's quite long-winded, so I'm sure you don't want to watch all that, but there we go, finished job. I've got a 6mm spacer, so it's equally spaced all the way around. I've used 6mm because we're right in the middle of a hot summer and all of that wood is pretty much shrunken, so it's going to expand quite a bit, so I want to make sure I've got enough, and 6mm should be more than enough. So now I'm in the demo stage. I had to remove all the wiring from around the back of the doors. Put that back later when the job's finished, but you've got to be so careful taking this out, and in a minute you'll see part of the brickwork comes out with it because the brickwork at the top of the doors is shot. As you know, much as you want to get in there with the crowbar and just wreck it out of there, you have to be really careful, otherwise you'll end up doing brickwork as well as woodwork, and that's pretty much not my forte. As you look at the top corner there, that brick comes out. I do put it back in, and we are repairing that wall, going to render across the front of the wall. So for fitting these, I've had to be a bit careful of me. I can't really fit that many screws in it, and that's where I am now, is as high as I could go. So that's probably about 400mm down, which is not ideal, but there's nothing to drill into above that. So just using the counter bore at the moment, just using 12mm so the screw head's clear. And this is my new toy, cordless SDS. I fancied one for a long time, and I thought, oh, okay, I've got to do it. It's just so much easier. I'm getting more and more addicted to cordless gear. A cheeky cat in the background. Come around and check out my work. I've got those 3 screws in now, so just give it a little test swing. And that's beautiful. I did almost crack my head open on these, so I think if I'm doing it in future, I should cut them at 45 degrees. Like I should, being a bit lazy, and I almost knocked myself out on one. So let's have a little look around. Nice sliding bolt, ledge and brace. One of the things I like the most doing with this bead and butt joint there, looks really special up close. I don't know if you can see the detail. So there's the job all finished. You can see across the top of the head of the doors there, we've got quite a gap, and the brickwork's all broken. Up in here you can see the steel tie in there has expanded, rusted and expanded, and it's broken all the brickwork apart there, and that's gone right up in a crack into the roof there. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and if you subscribe to my channel, long-time subscriber or a new subscriber, thank you very much, I appreciate it. Alright, have a nice day, stay safe in the workshop.